Welcome, creative minds. Welcome to another project to start with Marvellgreg. And in today's project, I'll be showing you how you can go about making a bustier tube. Okay, so this bustier is very easy to make, and I'm going to be showing you an amazing technique that you can also use for plus size. You can see how it's looking here. I've not even molded it, but it's looking very nice already. If this looks like what you're interested in, then stick with me to the end as I'll be showing you how I came about this beautiful plus size bustier that you see here. Also hit on the subscribe button and turn on notification as we now post tutorials on Wednesdays by 8 p.m. and also Sundays by 8 p.m. Also join our community with a token as it's going to help my channel grow as well. Without further ado, let's get right into the drafting, cutting and also sewing. So I'm just going to use this pattern to illustrate to you how to go about it because I really want you to understand the technique to go about it. So I'm taking out 5 inches from my main measurement I'm working with, and I'm marking my bust point, my under bust, my waistline. So you can stop this at your waistline if you don't want it so long. But for me, I added extra 2 inches and I made the top about 21 inches longer because I want to be able to wear it on as a top on its own. So if you just want it to be at your waistline is fine, okay? But I added extra 2 inches from my waistline to have it as a top. So at our shoulder line, that's at our bust point, I'm going to mark my round bust measurement divided by 4, and I also marked it at my shoulder line. Remember that I took out 5 inches before marking my shoulder line because this is like is an off shoulder kind of, so you don't need a shoulder for this, right? So I'm just going to be marking my nipple to nipple measurement. The nipple to nipple measurement I'm working with is 8 inches divided by 2 is 4 inches. So that 4 inches is what I'm marking all the way down to my bustier length, that's my top length. Then at my bust point, what I did is I came down by half an inch. Now for my underbust, what I'm doing on both ends is 1.5 inches on both sides. This is where it gets interesting because I'm working with a busty person, but you can also do this if you're working with someone that is not so busty. You can do 1 inches on both sides. So at my waistline, I did 1 inches on both sides. At my top length, I did 1 inches on both sides. So now I'm going to connect that 1 inches on my waistline to the 1.5 inches at my underbust and connect it back again to the 1 inches at my top length. So you can see the way the marking is going. So waistline and top line, I did 1 inches on both sides. Then at my underbust, I did 1.5 inches on both sides, just like I'm doing here. So you can see the way it's coming up. Then I connected it to the half inches I marked below my bust point. I'm going to highlight this with my marker so you can see how it's going to be. It's going to be like a house kind of shape, yeah? So this is how I made the bustier to come out really copy. So this is necessary in terms of if you're working with a busty person, this method is really going to help out. But if you're not on the busty side, you can do the regular 1 inches on both sides. So I'm going to be tightening the shoulder parts. You know that this is like an off shoulder, that this is a tube. So we don't want it to have any gaping. So I did 1 inches on both sides. At my bust point, I came up by about 1 inches and I connected it just like I'm doing here. And that's basically it. Now the next step now is to go ahead, and I've already imputed my round bust measurement divided by 4. So what I'm doing is just to replace the dot at my shoulder line and my bust point, just my shoulder line, yeah. Then at my under bust, I'll mark my under bust divided by 4, and I'll replace the dart intake that I took there. I'll do same at my waistline, my round waist divided by 4, and I'll replace the dart, and I'll do this all the way to my top length, and I'll connect it all the way. Yeah, so this is basically how to come about it. So I'll just do that and I'll connect all my lines like I'm doing here. I'll highlight it with a marker to show you how it is. So don't mind the shape. By the time we cut out our dart, it's going to align properly. I'm adding my stitching allowance of 2 inches all the way, and I'll just go ahead and cut out. So now you can go ahead and give it like a design in front. So what I did is I just came down by 1 inches and I just blended it all the way. So to just have like a beautiful kind of outcome. Then I blended this other side, the side, because this is a tube, so it doesn't have any armhole. So I just blended it all the way, just like I did. So pay attention to how I'm cutting out, so you don't end up cutting the parts you will be needing. I'll take out all my darts. I will label. Ensure you label your center fronts. Label with arrows if possible, in the way you will understand. So label in the way you will understand. So I'll use this to cut on the fabric, whatever fabric you want to use. You can see how beautiful it is. By the time we join it together, it's really going to give a very nice shape at the bustier area. So the back pattern is pretty easy. I've labeled my bust point, my waistline, and my top length. And for those, if you want to use zipper, I didn't use a zipper for this, but I'll show you how to go about it if you want to attach a zipper. You can see that I also left about 1 inches for a zipper. So I'll just include my measurements, all my circumference measurements, and I'll connect it. So this part is pretty easy. Like, it's really pretty easy. At my waistline, I marked my round waist measurement divided by 4. My top length, I used my hip measurement divided by 4. And this is all our measurement that we'll be needing for the back. Then for our darts, you go by your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 4. You mark it all the way to the top part, and we'll just connect it all the way, just like I'm doing here. For my bust, so at my waistline, go out by 1 inches, 0.7 inches on both sides. My bust point, I came down by 2 inches and I connected it to my darts of 0.7 inches. Just the regular way we mark out our back pattern is pretty easy. It's not so difficult. After this, whatever you took out for your darts, you replace it. We're going to replace it much later. Then from the down part, I came down by 2 inches because I wanted the back to be a bit slopey. So I came down by 2 inches at my center back and I connected it just like I'm doing here, all the way to the other end. Apologies, I didn't know it wasn't really visible, but that's pretty much what I did. You're going to see it much later on the pattern. So here I'm including my darts that I took out, and I also included 2 inches for my stitching allowance. So I included my stitching allowance of 2 inches first, then I replaced my dart intake that I took at my waistline and my top length, and I connected it to the way up. For me, I used a loop at this point, but if I wanted to use a zip, this is what I would do. At the down part of my waist, my top length, I'll go up by 1 inches and I'll connect it in a slanted form. This is going to further take out gaping. At my waistline, I'll also go in by 0.5 and connect it in a slanted line all the way up to take out gaping, and this is going to really fit well at the back. But for me, I'm taking out 4 inches for my opening for the back. That is how wide I want it to be. If you don't want yours so wide, you can do 2 inches, 2.5 inches, whichever you desire. But I feel I wanted it wider, so I'm doing 4 inches. So I'm cutting all this part out. And this is what I'm going to be cutting out for my back piece. And I will label appropriately the side and which one is up and which one is down. So I will include it using arrows up and I'll label down. and I'm going to be using this to cut on my fabric. So I've gone ahead to cut out for my fabrics. You can see how they are looking. So this is the back and these two are the front. I'm going to iron stay to it. I'm also going to pad the lining. I'm going to cut out lining for all my pieces and I will get back. This is what it looks like. I've gone ahead to pad. I have a detailed tutorial on how you can pad your dress, like just on padding of your dress. If you're yet to watch it, go ahead and watch it. I'll include a link in the comment section and also the description for you to watch. It's pretty much easy. I iron and double stay on my main fabric. This is just to thicken my fabric very well and also give it fitting at the bust area. Then I padded my lining piece, which I'm going to be joining together. I'll join the lining piece together for the front and I'll join the main fabric together for the front as well. You can see how I'm pinning it down. I'm going to go ahead and join everything together right now. I was done joining. The next step is to iron. Well, you can see how it has really come out. We've not even ironed it yet, and you can see how beautiful it has come out. And this is just the main fabric. So for the lining as well, this is the outcome of the lining. I have not even ironed it yet. You can see how beautiful it is. Now I'm going to notch and I'll iron. But before I iron for this, we'll work on the back piece. So we can just iron everything together. So for the back piece, the first step is I'm going to attach my ropes for my loop. I'll do that on the main fabric. I'll measure the points where I want them to begin from, and I'll measure to 2 inches all the way till I get to the down point. Then I'll cut my loop and I'll place my loops on each of these points I have marked. I'll go ahead, join everything together. So for the loops, I did 2.5 inches, 3 inches on each loop. I'll cut everything and I'll join them to the main fabric first before attaching our lining. I've joined my loops and now we're closing up all sides except the down parts with our lining. After closing, I cut out the excess and notched. Then I opened up and will give it a very good press. This is our back piece. So give it a good press alongside with our front piece. This is what it looks like. This is my back piece. So we'll begin ironing at this point. So for your front piece, ensure you mold properly, just the way I'm doing. Mold, use cloth stay to close up after you've notched and iron your bustier area, like iron properly. At this point, take your time because this is how your tube is going to come out really well. So mold and close up. Use close state to just close up those points area and mold very well. Mold it very well. You can see how I'm molding mine. Take your time to mold yours very well and it's going to come out really nicely. I'll do same for the lining as well. This is the main fabric that I'm molding. So this is molding parts for the main fabric is optional, but I wanted mine to really come out well. So that's why I'm doing it for the main fabric as well. You can just do this for the side you padded. So this is for the padded lining. You can see I've also molded the inner parts and here I've molded the front as well. So go ahead and iron it very well, and it's going to come out really, really nice. You know that the person wearing it won't have to use bra to wear this, because this is pretty much padded and it will hold very well. So next part is to join our lining piece to the main fabric. So if you want a strap to this is the point where you add your strap to your main fabric before closing up with your lining. So you can just add your strap at this point that I'm using my hand to mark. Add your straps before closing up all the side. So here I've closed up everything, and now is to join the back and the front together. So for the down part, I've cut out like a bias tape using my fabric. You can see how stretchy it is. I'm going to use it to close up the down part of my bustier. So you can go ahead and style it. If you want to have like a design at the down part of your bustier, you can go ahead and impute that design at this point before closing up with your bias fabric. But for me, I wanted it straight, so I'll just trim some of the parts that are excess, and I'll use so I measured round what I had before and I measured my bias tape, which I'm going to use to cover up. So I'll cut out the excess. It was too long. At least it should be about 1 inch, 2 inches. So this is the outcome, and that's basically all for this tutorial. I hope you learned something and you'll be trying it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in my next tutorial video. Bye.